Welcome to Better Preparedness. Today's program wasn't planned. It results because of an issue my wife had with her vehicle last night. But I want to talk to you about something that can help save you a lot of money and a lot of stress today on Better Preparedness. Bit of background to this. Last night my wife was driving and the vehicle was reacting a little bit like she was running out of fuel, but the gauge was also showing she was at about a quarter tank, so not too logical that she was running out of fuel. But she pulled into a fuel station. Two gentlemen working there and two other motorists very kindly helped her to try to problem solve what the issue was. So she refueled. Turned out she was essentially on fumes, and but also when she went to turn the car, it wouldn't start. So they did some poking around and noticed also that one of the battery connections front was really loose, so they managed to tighten that up. But then there was a PGM FI light on the dashboard. Now she was able to get the car started after that. She drove home, but the car was not feeling perfect. So today what I want to talk to you about is a bit of follow-up I'm going to do on this vehicle. When I turn the vehicle on right now, there are no engine lights or warning lights showing, but I thought I would just do some diagnostics because it's easy and I'm equipped to do so, and I unfortunately have a bit of an experience because of a problematic vehicle I used to have. Today what I want to talk to you about are what are called Onboard Diagnostics tools, OBDs. So pretty much if you say an OBD2, this is what you're going to be looking at, is the means to read your vehicle's error codes and engine codes and a variety of things. What I have are two different ones, but there are other options out there. Today on the program, we're going to be looking at these OBD2 readers. I guess one of the first questions is what is an OBD2 reader? Well, since 1996, pretty much all vehicles have the same data link connector, which is the plug, in a sense, that a code reader can plug into. The idea is that you can plug a device into the data link connector, and then on the screen you can get a variety of information. Now I've got two different models because I bought this one years ago, and it is a very basic model. It's called the Innova 3030. It doesn't provide you much more information than, say, the code. You can't really see based on the screen what the error is. You're going to get an error code. It'll probably start with the letter P and then 4 number digits, but you can't actually see what that code refers to. Also, because we've been living in a variety of African countries and we've traveled by road in about 12 countries, later on I purchased this one, which is the more advanced Innova 3100. What this has is often it'll have the error information on the display, so you don't even have to have access to the internet to see what that code was. I like this because often we were traveling without internet access, and maybe something very mundane like a loose fuel cap was what was creating the check error, the engine light issue. The engine light can shine or show for quite a few different things, and sometimes a very basic thing is all that's really hampering your vehicle. Maybe it's leaving you roadside, but if you can see what the code is and you can actually find out what it is, maybe you can call a friend or a loved one or your mechanic if they're available, and you can tell them what the code is. Maybe they can help give you some information. Is it catastrophic? Is it serious but drivable? Is it minor and just needing investigation in due course? This is the type of information you're going to get from having a device and also knowing how to use it. These two are code readers, but you can also nowadays get a cable to connect to your phone. I'm going to put a variety of things in the description below. The phone cable will be similar. We'll have one of these and it'll have a USB, for example, connector at the end. You plug it into your phone and then you plug it into the data link connector. But for today's example, I'm going to show what it looks to have both of these two devices plugged in and how we do it. So you might ask, well, where's the data link connector? The plug that you have to plug these things into? Well, typically it'll be on the driver's side and it'll be just underneath the dashboard here, and where the plastic covers up, and just underneath it. In our Toyota, it's just below the steering column. And in this vehicle, it's just to the left of the steering column. Very simple. You can do your homework ahead of time, find this out, and you'll know where it is. And then if you have one of these devices and you're having some issues with your vehicle, or even a check, for example, there are no lights on right now, but I'm still getting a code when I do a check. So again, it's paid off to do this check. I'm going to do some driving around the neighborhood to see if this fuel pressure problem is resolved. If it's not, then I'm going to go have the vehicle checked out. So let's dive into the vehicle here and see what there is. So the device is going to turn on. Now I take the car key, stick it in the ignition, but I'm not going to start the engine. I'm going to click it to the final click before starting the engine. It's going to take about a minute. Within about a minute, okay, on this one it asked me make of the vehicle. So I just do more, it's a Honda. So here we are. So it's giving me an error code. I'm just going to move over here. Hopefully you can see this. It's giving me an error code of P165 for a Honda. It's also showing me, if you can see in the upper right corner here, there is one error code. So this is 1 of 1. The yellow light is showing me that there is an error code. It would be green if all systems were reporting and there were no error codes. Now we're going to take the very basic code reader. Again, I have no issues. If you have regular internet access, these can do quite a few things as well. Certainly not against basic code readers. I like the more comprehensive ones, but this will work. Okay, so to have the code reader, I have the plug. I have to. All right. This is what you're going to see. So it's going to say read. Now I'm going to take the key and put it in the ignition. I'm going to turn it, but not start the engine. Okay. So now this is what it's showing me on the very basic code reader. Again, it's giving me the same code, which is P1065, 1 of 1 error codes. It's giving me a yellow light. Do your research once you buy one of these and know what some of these things mean. With these readers, you can often have the access to erasing a code, but be mindful that if you erase a code, one of the issues is that when you take your car to a garage, they're going to go through a very similar thing like this, or a more comprehensive one, but of course, but they're going to need to know what those codes were. Now, if you've erased them, that's going to potentially erase very valuable information for them to do, comprehensive diagnosis. So be mindful of erasing codes, but sometimes it can be useful to have the means to erase a code if you did some repair on a vehicle and the garage forgot to reset your codes. Anyways, all this to say, this is what you get with a basic code reader. So I've got right now an error code. What I did is I went on to the Innova.com website, and I saw that refers to a low fuel pressure issue. Now, because the vehicle almost ran out of fuel, there's kind of a logic that there would be a low fuel pressure issue right now. So I'm going to take the vehicle out for a spin around the neighborhood, and I've got what I need in case this thing conks out and I can call a tow truck. But my hope is that I'm going to restore fuel pressure by driving around a bit. But again, this is trial and error. And then we'll see, I'll do a check after to see if this code resets itself. So here's the call to action. What I want you to do is obtain an OBD2 reader or the cable to connect your smartphone to your car. This way you can check to see, maybe you can resolve the issue right away yourself, or maybe someone can help resolve it by phone. Or at least you can go to the garage and you'll be treated, in my opinion, with a lot more respect when you can say, listen, I've checked the codes and here's the code that the car is showing me, or the multiple codes. And then I feel you'll get more respect, because if it's a minor issue, it's going to be harder for the garage to try to pull a fast one on you. So get a code, find out where the data link connector is, play around with it a bit, go on the website of the manufacturer that you bought it for, and know how it works. Thanks a lot. Please share this video, hit that like button, and, well, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care.